For decades, the goal of education has been to improve literacy and make students proficient in subjects like mathematics and science. But in recent years, a new trend has emerged. Faced with the increasing prevalence of anxiety and depression among students, education systems have shifted their focus to student well-being. Even the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development has extended the scope of its program for international student assessment to include student well-being as a core component, and policymakers, think tanks, and entire nations are following suit. Educators have welcomed this long overdue shift globally and are enthusiastically pursuing it in their classrooms. This brings us to an important question. Do we really know what student well-being means? To answer this, the September 2020 special issue of ECNU Review of Education brings together various perspectives on student well-being. In the USA, the approaches to student well-being are numerous and diverse, but the way in which each approach understands and relates to other concerns is different. In Singapore, student well-being is seen as an indirect outcome of an otherwise holistic education. In Mexico, where stress and boredom are common among students, educators want their system to be more purposeful. They believe that any intrinsically motivating form of learning will eventually lead to well-being. China, a country known for its rich traditions, is focused on cultivating competencies among its people in skills that are unique to its culture. Korea is battling problems of self-alienation among its students so that they can relate to the world around them in a more wholehearted manner. England has a history of prioritizing spiritual development as a part of education, and the way forward is to elevate this strategy to an international level of schooling. We need to discuss our differing views, examine our beliefs, question our assumptions, and develop a clear understanding of what student well-being really means, so that we can work together to serve the highest purpose of education for the sake of all students worldwide. We need to identify limitations in our pursuit of student well-being so that we can go back to focusing on the timeless purposes of education, achieving individual wholeness and flourishing as humans. This is especially important against the backdrop of the COVID-19 pandemic. As other professionals put themselves on the front line for the sake of the human community, educators have an obligation to go beyond all current understandings of well-being and restore the function of education to its original grandeur. To find out more about how education is changing around the world, check out this special issue of ECNU Review of Education.